Hello and welcome everybody to Chasing the Dream TV. Now this is our pilot episode. My name's Andy Klassen.
I'm Garrett Hikus.
And we are Chasing the Dream TV.
We traveled nearly 2,000 miles from Nebraska to the wilderness of Victoria Lake in search of the Newfoundland ghost. Majestic, beautiful, and elusive. This animal and the terrain that it calls home would put us and our equipment to the ultimate test. Years of hunting and preparation have led us to this trip of a lifetime.
I'm Garrett Hikus. I'm from Wayne, Nebraska. I got into the outdoors through hunting deer and turkeys with my family since back before I can really even remember. But it wasn't until about 10 years ago that my brother and I got pretty big into bass fishing thanks to one of our friends and his grandpa. Hunting and fishing have never really been a passion for me. It's been more of a lifestyle. I honestly can't remember a time where I wasn't into the outdoors, and I have no idea what I would do if I wasn't. I got into the photography side of it thanks to my mom for always having a camera around for me to steal and take outside. And about 5 years ago I got into video and editing, and I liked it enough that I decided that's what I wanted to go to college for. So I graduated in the spring of 2017 with a major in digital cinema and media production. And about that same time I got a couple emails from a guy named Andy Klassen and Gary Howie. They had both read an article that the Omaha World Herald contacted me about doing, and it was about my bass fishing obsession and my dream of filming for or starting my own outdoor TV show or one with someone else. So I went on to film for Gary Howie with his show Outdoorsman Adventures from spring until the fall. And we went on a bunch of different fishing and hunting trips and kind of got a taste of what it's like to film for an actual show, and I absolutely loved it. And through that same time I was working with Andy Klassen on starting our own show, and pretty much our dream was to film hunting and fishing with our friends and family and make it into a career. So this is us chasing our dream. Follow us along and see where it takes us this first season.
Alright, well my name's Andy Klassen and I grew up in a small town by the name of Lynch, Nebraska, northeast Nebraska. Growing up in a small town out in a rural community, hunting and fishing was always a big part of our upbringing, and my father was always there with me and kind of showed me how to do it. And it's really been something that's been instrumental in my upbringing, and I hope to pass it on to my kids and my nephews, and that's one of the things that brings me a lot of joy here as far as doing Chasing the Dream, is that I get to get out and chase dreams with other youngsters, and we're going to be doing a lot of that, especially during this first season on Chasing the Dream.
Hunter's Reserve is the healthiest, best-tasting wild game snacks on the market. Gluten-free, nitrate-free, no MSG, and no fillers. Family-owned and operated, Hunter's Reserve has specialized in premium wild game snacks for over 20 years. Their gourmet wild game meats are all natural, lean, low in cholesterol, and they don't sacrifice on flavor. Hunter's Reserve, adventure you can taste.
When it comes to developing rich habitat on land or in water, Antelope Creek Wildlife and Ponds are the folks you need to get in touch with. Cultivating not only habitat programs, but wildlife management programs as well, turning your property into a sportsman paradise. Grow your deer, turkey, game fish, or pheasant numbers to optimal populations with tactics that address both the habitat and the wildlife it shelters. Learn more at antelopecreekwp.com.
To give a quick backstory on the hunt before we get into it, this kind of came about one day after class. I got a call from our taxidermist and family friend Mike Lutt, and he asked me if I would want to go along and film a caribou hunt with him in Victoria Lake, Newfoundland. And that wasn't really something I could pass up. Ended up being the trip of a lifetime, and we'll show you guys right here.
The reason I went on this hunt is because I like a new adventure, and there's 29 species of North American big game. There's 5 species of caribou, and the woodland caribou is a species that I haven't hunted on the island of Newfoundland, and I thought this would be a great adventure. We started the hunt from Nebraska. We flew from Nebraska and we ended up in Deer Lake, Newfoundland. From there we took a vehicle ride to Victoria Lake, and we ended up in the camp of Abidak Wilderness Adventures on Victoria Lake, and that's where we started the hunt. We got to a cabin that we stayed at the rest of the week, and then we got our equipment out, made sure the bow was sighted in, and all the camera gear was ready for the next day. The first full day of hunting was our second day there in camp, and we were basically hunting in Hurricane Matthew, or the effects of it. We had plenty of rain. We only saw 2 caribou, and we started a fire in the timber to kind of dry off, and ended up seeing a few moose and some other wildlife that day. The third day started off pretty slow for us, but we finally got a break in the weather, started to clear off. We had quite a bit of wind, but things were starting to look better for the hunt from here on out. Fourth day we rode across Victoria Lake early in the morning, got a good start, and then we climbed up through the timber up through to get to the high glacier lakes up in the basin, and that took us a few hours to get up in there. We started to spot a few caribou, but we had to figure out a way to get to them, and we had to cross a freezing river that normally they can walk across pretty easily. It wasn't quite that easy for us, but that's hunting.
Hubbard's lineup of deer pellets were developed to supplement forages already found in the wild that will keep your deer herd healthy all year long. This feed has optimal levels of amino acids, minerals, and vitamins to take advantage of a buck's genetic antler growth potential. Formulated with high levels of aromatic ingredients that'll draw deer to the feed and flavor enhancers that'll keep them coming back. To learn more and to find the Hubbard dealer nearest you, visit hubbardfeeds.com.
Pontini is the perfect boat for those who love to get offshore. Whether it's for recreational fun or for outdoor sport, Pontini's custom makes and models have you covered. Manufactured with pride in Elm Creek, Nebraska, exceptional craftsmanship goes into every single boat. Pontini is the perfect miniature pontoon boat. Rugged, durable, and easy to maneuver in and out of the water. Check them out at pontini.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Chasing the Dream. Now let's waste no time. Let's get back out into the field and see if things start to heat up for Mike.
Once we got across the river, we got up to a good vantage point where we had seen some caribou. But once we found the caribou again and relocated them, there was no mature stags, just a young stag and some cows and calves. After we saw the small stag, then it was time to head back, and we had to cross the river to come back again. And we were just about out of the basin, going to head down through the timber, and we spotted a real nice stag. But then he disappeared like a Newfoundland ghost into the timber, and our day was over. On day 5, which was actually our 4th day of hunting, we got up, went through the timber again after we had crossed the lake, got up above and started glassing, and we did finally find a mature stag. And we got up on the rocks, and we made a plan on how to stalk him and see if we could get a shot. Okay, we're in Newfoundland, Victoria Lake. This is the 4th day of the Woodland Caribou hunt. Got a nice stag, one of the better ones we saw. So real happy. Dean and Matthew are the guides, and Garrett Hikes is long filming. 2016. After we recovered the caribou and got the meat all prepared, the packs all loaded up, and we started heading back. We're looking forward to the meat that we were going to have back at camp. I hope you enjoyed following along on our trip for the Newfoundland Ghost.
Cooper's Chase bourbon is handcrafted in small batches just off the banks of the Elkhorn River. Just as our beef is produced by the world's finest grain, grown right here in America's heartland, our spirits are held to the same standards. Hardworking folks made this bourbon to be enjoyed by hardworking folks like you. Crafted with care to be consumed with care. So let's cut to the chase. Cooper's Chase Distillery, West Point, Nebraska.
For working and sporting dogs, the pros will tell you that regular dog food won't do. Their active dogs need performance nutrition just like yours. That's why they feed Kinetic Performance Dog Food. Each Kinetic formula is made with 3 animal proteins and no fillers like corn, wheat, or soy. This lets you feed less and still get more energy, faster recovery, and better weight maintenance. If health and performance matter to you, give Kinetic a try. We built it for our dogs, but you'll love it for yours.
The Hidden in Plain Sight blind system by Lynch has a proven track record when hunting deer, coyotes, turkeys, antelope, and hogs. The HIPS blind system mounts to your bow, rifle, or shotgun, using effective camo patterns along with the ability to brush in with natural surrounding vegetation, enhancing the concealment. Get close to your game no matter what with the Hidden in Plain Sight Blind. Learn more at hipsblinds.com.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and you know, we have a lot of fun at Chasing the Dream actually bringing this material to you guys, but none of that would be possible without our partners, the partnerships that we develop with a lot of these outdoors companies. Now, the guys over at Pontini were good enough to actually build us a custom boat for fishing and bow fishing. So let's take a minute and run out to Elm Creek, Nebraska and hop on board with Todd, head of sales and marketing, as he kind of shows us the ins and the outs of these awesome pontoon boats. And guess what? We were able to get into some largemouth too.
Yeah, we don't skimp on anything that we put into the boat. As you were saying, we're a Honda Marine dealer. We use high quality Atwood seats. If you're going to be using it, you're going to want somewhere comfortable to sit, and I don't think you get any better than Atwood. We do offer Minn Kota. This one's a 55-pound thrust trolling motor, bow mount with foot control. All of our tunes are hand welded and then pressure tested before they ever leave the shop. It's a 2-chamber pontoon. That way, if there ever is a catastrophic failure, you do hit something and it causes a leak, you'll still be able to make it back to the dock. But we stand behind our pontoons 100%. We know they will not leak.